Hello, Southwest, and welcome to our midweek update for May 13th, 2020. And we are glad to greet you this morning. Brian, I didn't notice this. What's going
Oh,
on with what's that?
oh, well, you know how you've been encouraging us to honor the city's request for masks and stuff?
Yeah,
And I've been so inspired by the people that have been making masks at
yeah,
home.
yeah,
Like, don't you have one from someone?
yeah. Someone made me this awesome mask with double T's on it. It's perfect, but that doesn't explain why you have.
Yeah, well, okay. I was inspired by all those people. So I decided to go around the house and see if I can't sew, but just be creative in masks. So this is just a simple my sandwich meat container from the fridge
Oh,
right here with my Southwest sweatshirt. So that was
I
an
bet that
idea.
smells interesting.
Well,
And
yeah, okay. If you're concerned about smell, I went to a Walmart and you have your choice of smells, right?
yeah,
Right.
that's
Just grab whichever you want. And Doyle, I know you and I would be glad to empty these for people.
I'd help out. Yeah, I'd sure help
Yeah.
out. But I don't know how you could breathe through that very well. I don't.
Oh
I
no,
mean, it smelled good.
it smells good. They're all kind of hard to breathe through. I've got a whole line of sports themes for people who have kids that are in sports or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're not
So
playing sports right now, but that's
right, but that's my point. So you can use the equipment. So this is my daughter's swim stuff.
right. That's her cap, her swim
Yeah,
cap, and
that's
the
a swim
goggles, so
cap.
you won't touch your eyes,
You won't even touch your eyes, even if
and
you try to.
and
If
you
you
can't
happen to be a
breathe.
boxer,
You can
yeah.
only see out of one eye.
Well, half the risk.
This is true. This is
Okay,
true.
I've thought of everything. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Pitchers
looks like it.
pitchers are used to doing this anyway.
Yeah, they just talk into their glove, and
Yeah,
you
so
can't
you
read
got
their
your
lips. Yeah,
baseball mask, and then well, we
smart.
got a lot of basketball players out there.
That's disgusting. That's your shoe.
No, that's Jaken's shoe.
Oh, that's worse.
And hey, the benefit of these is the strap comes with it. I didn't even have to put it on.
True. I'm
You know what I'm
glad
saying?
you think like
Right.
that.
So I was still going around. You'd have to ask your dog about this one, but this is a simple one that I think everybody can do.
Oh, the cone.
Oh yeah,
That might
it
actually
just
work.
snap on and you're safe.
Bam.
Yes, that's a good one. Huge air hole. Now, I bet, Tootin' Totem's not doing refills. So
Right.
every time you buy a tea or something, you got to have the cup. So you probably have extra cups around. So just redeeming that trash, it's good for the
Right.
environment too.
That's environmental friendly. I like that, Brian.
Exactly. And Dole, you know how one of the big complaints with masks is the breathing.
Yeah, you can't breathe. It's hard.
Well, recycle the straws too. See that?
How'd that work for you?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's
How
great.
did how did people react like when you went into a store like that?
People want to buy them. I say, no, I'm giving them away. Giving them away. All right. Now, you know how there's a bunch of conspiracy things going on out there?
Yes, I've
So
seen
I've
them.
got one for the conspiracy theorist. Okay.
Oh.
You'll love this one.
Is that tinfoil?
That's tinfoil.
Yeah,
So,
that keeps out the brainwave suckers and all
yeah,
that.
the aliens that are trying to buzz our brains
Yeah.
and coronavirus.
Multi-purpose.
Literally, heaven and earth can't hurt us in this one. Okay, so I've got a few
Oh.
more that are live here. This one I got to give credit to my daughter. This is her old makeup thing. Makeup wipes.
Yeah.
So
Can you
put
open the
this
front to feed
thing
yourself?
when you're hungry. You don't need to take off the mask.
Oh, that's brilliant.
If you need a drink, I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm
that's
sure
brilliant.
Callie loves that you gave her credit for that.
Oh yeah, that was her idea. Now, for some people, we've been talking about that masks are. How do we say this kindly as Christians? Like it's just nice to the whole world for them to put on a mask.
Right.
Well, some people might need a little bit more,
Oh, I
right?
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
To help with their looks, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I know I'm in this group, so now the one flaw in this is the holes in the eyes.
Yeah.
right? You're still in danger because you're not supposed to touch your eyes. So I was up at the church building grabbing my First and Second Kings commentary because we moved from First and Second Samuel.
You use the commentary?
No, that's not a bad idea. I'll look into that.
Okay.
But maybe the dust cover. That's okay.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was just going around the building while I was there, not touching anything.
Thank you.
Okay? But looking at how we can redeem some of the things there that we're not using. So this helps with that eye problem in this mask, right?
Yeah.
I just got some communion cups and I put them in there and a matzah bread grill.
Smile, yeah.
Yeah, and
so
it's
you're
a grill. So you can breathe a little easier, but this matzah bread still, helps with that.
It smells good, and people are reminded about communion.
And again, nobody's using so much of the stuff at the building, like all of our let us know cards and prayer request cards and giving envelopes.
That's a good use for that.
Yeah,
I don't know how effective it is, but it's a good use.
Yeah, I thought that would be a good redemption of that stuff that we're not using. Okay, I know so much more, but I've got one more that I think you'll like. This one, while I was back there getting the communion cups, I went and, we're not using our utensils, right?
Right.
Well, I got the communion trays. If you need to go full body, full on, just feel safe. You can get this, and I can make this to where it goes down the whole length of your body if you need.
A shower curtain, maybe all the way down.
Totally. Yeah. Now, this is just a chip bag that I had. So, yeah, okay. So, and proclaiming Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool hat. Wow, Brian, that was.
Hey, I'm not even done. Y'all just hang on. I got more. Not now. I don't have more. But okay. I'll keep being creative. Hey, I got one of mine. You were showing off your tech thing. I had to show you this.
Oh, that's cool.
I had a good friend make a Texans one. I don't know if this was subliminal on her part or not, but you know what the part you breathe and cough and your mucus goes on? You know what's on the back?
Cowboys? That's funny.
I don't know if that was subliminal on her part.
Maybe so.
All right. So we got business to take care of.
We do. Brian, I am so glad you've been working hard on something and trying to help the world. Our mayor, I listened to her this morning, our governor and Surgeon General and CDC, they all recommend we wear masks. So let's do that. And just a reminder, if you need one, for serious need one, not one of Brian's, or if you want one of Brian's, maybe he'll make it for you. Let us know. Email us and let us know. So, hey, news for the week, Brian. We talked last week about the next phase we're moving into as a reopen phase and trying to see where we're going to be, how we're going to open up safely and wisely. And we just want to say that this week, we're going to be moving into a small group phase where we're asking our small groups to meet for worship. But this week, we're asking you not to do that yet for worship because we just think that's wisdom in our community right now to continue meet at home and engage in our online offering. And I just want to say one thing about our online service. It's crazy to me, Brian, that we have this unique opportunity at this time. Like never before have we had an opportunity like this. I get weekly feedback, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week feedback from people outside of our church family, outside of our city, all over the world. Really, we've talked to people who are engaging in worship with us through our online offering, which is so cool. And it's just cool to me that it's struck a chord with some people that would have never tried us out or couldn't have because of distance, or just wouldn't have because of judgment. And I saw one this week of someone saying, hey, I haven't found a community to engage with online. Could I come to your church? That was with one of our members. And I just love that. So keep on doing that. Keep sharing, right? Keep sharing on Facebook. Keep sharing through email. Or I say start sharing, right? Keep commenting on our post or start commenting on our post. There's some studies that I read, Brian, that say content shared by individuals as opposed to corporate accounts or a church account is seen as more trustworthy and gets 8 times more likely to be engaged with. So the more engagement our content gets, the more social media algorithms will allow it to a larger audience. So you share it, yeah.
I was just going to say, so you're saying when Craig posts the worship on Sunday morning, if I'll just not just watch it, I'll share it if I'll share it, more people would be inclined to watch it and be a part of it than if it's just the church posting it.
Right, because for one thing, people aren't seeing it. People that aren't friends with our church wouldn't see that, but they'd see the yours. But even more important, they trust you. They're your friends, right? So they trust
That
you.
makes
So
sense.
they're 8 times more likely to watch it because Brian Mashburn posted it or Joe church member posted it. So share it, but also comment on our post, because of the way Facebook works. The more comments, the more times they're going to put it in people's feed. So
I haven't been doing that. I haven't been sharing it and I haven't been commenting. So thank you for that, Dole. That's good. That's an easy thing I can add to my weekly rhythm that actually shares Christ.
Can you believe that we are encouraging people to share things on Facebook for the hope of Christ? That's how we want to get the hope of Christ out there. So yeah, people share funny stuff. People share interesting stuff. They share informational stuff. And frankly, we know some people share stuff that just shouldn't be shared. Share our worship service, our worship content, comment on it, like it, all those kind of things. And we'll share Christ with the world.
That's a great easy thing that everyone in our body can do. And if just half of us did it, that's hundreds of shares that's reaching thousands, tens of thousands of people potentially, and get more shares. So that's great. So yeah, Dole, I know that the staff met this last Tuesday. Everyone in the body, of course, we've been eager to get back together. Okay, I mean, in the Wave video that I'm so grateful that we have on Sundays, where we get to see faces, people are saying that. Everyone I talk to, emails I get, when I do run into someone, at the store or something, it's just like, it's like cold water in a desert, right? Yeah. We want to do that. But right now, we do not think it's wise. It is most wise to enter back into worshiping with our small groups yet. That's phase 1 that our elders have kind of agreed upon, but we don't think that that's wise just yet. However, we know some groups are beginning to meet, not for worship necessarily, but just to have some fellowship. So when you do that, and we encourage it under these kind of guidelines, of course, it's all at your own discretion, but we just urge you to keep using social distancing, at least 6 feet away from each other, like set up chairs in the lawn. If you have a big enough room, that's great, but outside is best when the weather's good, or parking lots you can meet in parks, and still, if you're an at-risk person, which is defined as 65 years or older, if you have medical conditions that are putting you at higher risk with the COVID-19, we are still hoping, we're so sorry, but we're still hoping that you would not participate in any gatherings at this time. We love you, and we want to refrain from that. And if you are experiencing, or anyone in your household, or you've been around someone who is experiencing any symptoms of illness of any kind, don't participate. And one other thing, young children, they do not get social distancing. Okay, they don't get it. They're not supposed to. None of us are. Right. So even if you have young children that cannot navigate social distancing, we ask you to really wait as well for this. Anything to add to that, Dole, that we talked about?
Just patience, and that's hard for us, but that we just remain patient and make good choices for our families and for our city. And this is all an act of love. Patience now is an act of love. So remain in that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, Dole, I got a verse I just wanted to share with the body between us. I told you about in Colossians chapter 4. It's just a few verses, but Paul really hits some themes that are always relevant, particularly relevant now. It's Colossians 4, starting in verse 2. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. And pray for us too, that God may open a door for our message, so that we may proclaim the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains. Pray that I may proclaim it clearly, as I should. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. So
that's good.
Yeah, there's just several little movements there he makes. The first one is the devote yourself to prayer, being watchful and thankful. First of all, I've thought many times, if ever there was a time when we needed to be just good at prayer, connecting with God, it's during this time where we're feeling isolated and alone. We know in our heads, theologically, we're not alone, but prayer, boy, that's important. but he adds these words, being watchful and thankful.
Yeah.
There is something about gratitude right now, especially that that is medicine for the soul. There's just so many things not to be grateful for right now.
Right. And I like that he included that word watchful with thankful. Watchful about what's going on in our communities, but also sometimes you have to look for the things to be thankful about, thankful for.
Search hard. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And Brian, that next verse we talked about, pray for us. And that could, when Paul's saying it's us, it's Paul. And, but we're, we're saying us, the church, that God may open a door for our message. And isn't that what we just talked about, that he has done?
You just mentioned.
Yeah. It's so cool to me that God has opened this door so that, and he says, so that we may proclaim the mystery of Christ for which he's in change. We get, like, I'm going to do this later in my living room. I get to proclaim the mystery of Christ to the world. He's opened a door to the world.
Yeah. He's in chains. I know. I've talked to so many of us that feel like that right now. We feel chained in and trapped. And so to have these outlets that aren't our preference, but they are opportunities. So I love the call to make the most. Then he just finishes, and this is important, especially with the social media presence that we're all kind of engaged with even more, where he says, let your conversation be full of grace and seasoned with salt. Man, not everybody's doing that.
No.
You and I've talked about a lot of this.
Yeah. I thought of this on Mother's Day. I was up early on Mother's Day and thinking about my mom and thinking about and reading through social media. And I just thought, my mom used to always tell me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? Which was very hard for me to follow. But I just thought, what a great Mother's Day would be where on social media, everybody said something nice and didn't say anything negative. Like that would be a tribute to, but then I read this again, and that's what we're called to be all the time, full of grace, seasoned with salt, and knowing how to answer. That's the hard part, is knowing how to answer someone.
Yeah. So it'd be good for everyone to go through their like social media streams and read it through this lens. Yeah. Read what you've posted through this lens.
Yeah. And are we proclaiming Christ, or are we proclaiming something else? Yeah.
Yeah. Just full of grace. These are difficult times from top down in our country and in the world.
Yeah. Love that verse, Brian. Thanks for sharing it.
You bet. All right, man. All right. Thanks for the
news. Love you, church.
Love you, church.